Hello Animorphs fans, and welcome back to another one of these episodes where we talk about casting in the Animorphs movie, assuming Picture Start actually cracks on and does it. So, previously we've discussed Elfangor, we've discussed Visser 3, and I think we did a pretty good job. I think you did a pretty good job, because I think your suggestions actually did better than mine. Not surprising. Now we're moving on to Hork-Bajir, and this is a bit different now because we're not necessarily looking for a specific voice actor or voice actress. We're looking for a type of voice. I mean, we can look into specific actors for specific characters, but at the start in the Animorphs movie, I highly doubt we're going to get a Jara Hammy, a Dak Hammy, a Toby Hammy, any of the Hammies for that matter. It's going to be a pretty hamless day on the Animorphs movie front. And so I don't think we need specific actors. I think we look for a type of voice. And that's what I'm here to do today, to run through a series of actors and actresses and listen to the type of voice that they have and see whether I think they sound like they could pull off a good Hork-Bajir voice. Of course, it'll probably need to be pitch shifted in some cases. But then what I want you to do is to give me your suggestions. So it'll run like normal. So I'll give you my suggestions and then you run off and give me your suggestions and I'll review them down the line. So without further ado, let's look at my suggestions. There's actually... Stop running around out there, bloody cats. I've got 7. I think I've got 7. So the first one is Michael Wincott. Now I actually believe Raptor suggested this one. Actually no, I don't want to give him credit. I suggested it. It's all my idea. And so let's give him a listen. He does various roles because this video is titled Some of His Villains. So obviously plays villain character. He's got an eye patch. What more evidence do you need that he's a villain? Right, let's give Michael Wincott a good look here.
These were our cousins, our friends, our countrymen. But you say, no revenge. We will wash this in blood, and now...
What should I do with the musketeer flag?
Burn it.
He's got the gravelly, guttural sound.
Should even one of you resist, the entire corps will be arrested and imprisoned.
So that's not quite as good.
All for one, and one for all.
So we've got to look for diction here. And by that I mean the way that they present their voice, they put their voice out there. Because as I'm talking now, and how most people will talk, they talk in a very human fashion. If you look at like people portraying evil people, or people who are untrustworthy, or generally creepy people, they tend to use a different diction, a very unusual one. So for example, if I were to say something like, the princess walked to the park, that's a pretty normal diction. If I were to say, the princess walked to the park, it's a different diction. And it's more unsettling to our human ears that's used to like the human language and our normal way of speaking. It's a bit like, what the frick's going on here? The princess walked to the park. Yeah, it's unsettling. It's the same words, and it's not necessarily about the dynamic range. It's the diction, like holding this like a snake noise, or talking in a normal sort of way and then suddenly going in a very dynamic speed. Yeah. So that's sort of what we're looking for, a different sort of diction. And I think in his first clip here, we see that. So let's just go over that again. Listen for the diction.
These were our cousins, our friends, our countrymen. But you say, no revenge. We will wash this in blood, and now...
It's almost like slurred. He's also got that guttural, growly thing going on there, which is what you need for Hork-Bajir. You need a bit of growl. You've got to be guttural and growl. So that's Michael Wincott, who Raptor suggested. Now, of course, it's not really the best idea on this list because Raptor suggested it. And my ideas are going to be far superior. Right, who's next? I think a couple of these were from the El Fango video, because a lot of you suggested, for example, I think Tony Todd, who's this guy, for El Fango. And I think I said no, but I said, and the same for Hugo Weaving. These two, I think, were El Fango rejectees, who are actually more suited to Hork-Bajir. So let's give a listen to Tony Todd, who was Venom, by the way.
What's happening? We are Venom.
Maybe we could do without the slurpy bit.
We will.
Yeah, I don't need that bit. We're focused on this bit.
We are.
What he's done with his voice there, it's very inhuman, which is what we're after. Which is why I think I said I put this guy in this video. At least I think that's the case. Was he in the El Fango one? I can't remember. I know Hugo Weaving was. Who's next? But he's got this. I don't think I can do it, but like shuddering vibrato, very bassy, deep. What do you reckon? Could he pull off a Hork-Bajir voice? Could he pull off a Hork-Bajir voice? I think so. I think Tony Todd is winning out of him and Michael Wincott. I think all of these actors and actresses, though, can play Hork-Bajir roles. So get them all in. Throw them all in for various Hork-Bajir lines throughout the movie. Who's next? Hugo Weaving. Again, from the El Fango video. I heard his voice and I thought instantly, bang, Hork-Bajir. So let's see if I still have the same impression today.
To rendezvous with me here on Earth before fate waylaid us both. The only way to revive him, we needed Prime and his Matrix. You put these ideas into his head. Two-faced traitorous rat!
Hugo Weaving. Very similar to Tony Todd. But I don't think his diction is as compelling. So I actually prefer Tony Todd at the moment to Hugo Weaving, but Hugo Weaving, he's got that deep, gravelly, growly voice thing going on, which is what we need. The fourth one is actually a singer from a band that I know. Now he has got, disregard the singing, listen to his voice and what he does with his voice. He's Norwegian, so he doesn't come with an accent, which is good. That's what we need. We don't want freaking American Hork-Bajir, nor do we want British Hork-Bajir, because that's for the Andalites. He's Norwegian. Norwegians don't have accents. Yeah. So he don't come pre-packaged with an accent. He's got a very gutturally, growly voice. So his name is John Ivar I can't pronounce Norwegian names, I'm sorry. So just listen to his guttural growliness and his general Scandinavianness.
Silence! Walking around in the corridor without a sound on the hardwood floor.
It's got that growl.
The savages are asleep and the infirmary is quiet like a morgue. I wanna be righteous for the parish.
It's got a very deep voice. It comes with an underlying growl.
Never misunderstood. Find a place in the woods among the bluebirds on the riverbed with shackled beaks and silence. Silence! Silence!
So, yeah, he's got a very deep voice, got that growl, that gutturalness, gutturalness. Take him out of a music background, put him in a recording studio for voice acting, and let him go for it. Because I think the fact that he hasn't got a British or American accent will play in his favour. Because I don't know what it is about Norwegians, but they don't sound like anything else when it comes to speaking English. So you get that little bit of extra alienness to it. But he's also excellent band, by the way, Major Parkinson. Go check them out. I'm freaking obsessed with them at the moment. And he's got a great voice, even though it's very guttural and growly and low and deep. But that's what we want! Just another snippet here of John Ivor displaying his much more growly side.
Are you the ghost of a man with a table leg staring into the light from above? Are you a burning Sherlock from the borderline, making a mental piece for a dove? Are you a basket of bread from the afterlife on a cabin next to a bench stand? Hail the illusion, the generator of kids.
I love that menacing growliness that he gets in there, and his vocal talent for basically he doesn't trip over his words. She sells seashells by the seashore. That won't fool him. That'll never fool him, and he'll say it in a Hork-Bajir voice for you. Yeah, I really like John Ivor. Next, we're gonna get a bit more. Well, in the Animorphs series, most of the Hork-Bajir were just given male pronouns. Like, if the Animorphs are fighting a bunch of Hork-Bajir, they'll say, he jumped at me, or this, that, and t'other. But occasionally, there are female Hork-Bajir, and I think if an Animorphs movie came along, it would be good to mix in some female Hork-Bajir in there. Which would mean we need female Hork-Bajir voice actresses. Now, part of me thinks that there's very little to distinguish male and female Hork-Bajir, so they probably got very similar voices. But I don't know, Hollywood will probably want to give them actual female voice actresses. So I've actually got 3 voice actresses here. The first one, unfortunately, is no longer with us. But again, I think if we find someone with a similar voice acting style, her name is Eartha Kitt. Voices the bad lady from The Emperor's New Groove, if anyone remembers that film. So give her a listen. Give her a listen. She's a fantastic voice actress.
Because I've always wanted to do one. And to work with a great voice like Eartha Kitt's voice is also fantastic.
Soul, to destroy our beloved traditions. This act of highest treason has but one punishment: death. Guards! Take him away!
If we can just get a voice like Eartha Kitt, but give it that growl that she didn't have, give that growl, that gutturalness to that voice, find that perfect person, that would be a good Hork-Bajir female voice, I reckon. Yes, I think Eartha Kitt died in 2008. She was a great voice actress. Really distinctive voice. And the next voice actress, also has a very distinctive voice. Now, you may not recognise her from this picture and maybe the voices here, but I'll reveal to you who this actually is, or her best role, in my opinion, in a minute. So let's just give a listen to this character here.
Let's see. Multiple counts of destruction of private and city property, not to mention evading arrest. You're in a whole mess of trouble, young lady.
But there were some thugs threatening a helpless shopkeeper, and I
Can it! You should have called the police and stayed out of the way. Oh, I am well aware of who you are, and your avatar title might impress some people, but not me. You're talking...
Do you recognise her, by the way? Do you recognise her? I'll show you who it is. Here she is.
Dr. Evil, I want you to meet your son.
My son?
Yeah. Scott! Bring in the fembats! Fembats! Send in the guards! In the clown!
Mindy Sterling, that's her name. Yeah, same voice actress as that cartoon lady we just heard. So she's actually got quite a deep voice, but she can give it the old... I'm not going to do it. It's too loud and I'll probably disturb the neighbours. But the screaming, like she's doing in Dr. Evil here. Probably, out of the 3 female actresses I got here, probably the least Hork-Bajir like, but it's hard to find them. But again, just get her to pull on a bit of a growl in her voice. And see what that comes out like. She's got a deeper register for female. But this last one now is my favourite choice here. And I will mispronounce the name. Shorey Agdashlu. Shorey Agdashlu. And she has got a very distinctive voice. And I'm sure you'll agree upon listening to it. So think of this voice. Think female Hork-Bajir in an Animorphs movie. So let's listen in.
Hello, everyone. I am Shorey Agdashlu, and I'm thrilled to announce that I will be voicing Roshan, Basim's mentor in Assassin's Creed Mirage. When Ubisoft approached me to voice this character, I was immediately seduced by Roshan's strong personality and her backstory. She's a true warrior who fights for justice and protects her fellow hidden ones at all costs.
I don't even think you need to, like, give her voice filters. I think she's already got the Hork-Bajir voice nailed, personally. That's fantastic. That's my #1 choice, probably out of all of them today. Then probably Tony Todd. Those are my 2 top ones here. Maybe throw in Michael Wincott for a bit of left field. The Dark Hork-Bajir. So those are my top 3 from today out of the 7. Who would your picks be for Hork-Bajir voice actors / actresses? Doesn't have to be anyone doesn't have to be specific person, but we're looking for a voice style. You could be a specific person. Just clarify in the comments what exactly you're getting at in the comments below, and I'll do a follow-up video looking at your opinions. So thank you very much for watching. Get commenting, get looking for voice actors and actresses, because it's actually quite difficult sometimes. So thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time. Ta-ra!